Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name is Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 181. And listen, boy, oh boy, listen to this. As I was discussing in last week's episode, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But what we were discussing about was just this, enchilada of just, the information and the pardons and the signings and the straws and all of the stuff that's currently going on in the world politically. The Elon Musk running around with a chainsaw. We're going to get to the Tesla commercial in a moment, but it's a lot and it's too much. And sometimes it's too much to handle. You have to take a break from it. A lot of people don't even worry about getting involved in this type of news if it has to do with certain people because of just how stressful it can become. And so when I expressed that, because, I thought this podcast was a safe space, but when I expressed that last week, it apparently tickled the fanny of none other than Jeanette Burnett 9227.
What are we doing?
And she had something to say. Okay, so when I was just simply expressing myself, it's something that not a lot of grown men in their 30s can do, okay? Let alone admit they have feelings and emotions. It's getting them out and sharing them in what we think is a safe space is the difficult part. And here I am attempting to do that. And Jeanette Burnett is trying to shoot me down, okay? But listen to the comment, okay? Well-read, intellectually astute people who are aware of their surroundings and economic trends know what's going on. Maybe the deficit in understanding may be on your end. I don't know who taught you public speaking, if anyone did, but slow down the hand gestures. No one listens. Everyone's watching your hands. Seriously. The glasses, lose them. Eye contact is critical to make a connection with the viewer. The spaceship backdrop, not to be taken seriously.
What are we doing?
Ah! And to that comment, I responded. Of course, I had to respond, keep the algo up. And I said back to Jeanette Burnett, 9227. I said, you seem like the type of person to believe in and post about the cancer-curing medbed pods Donald Trump is installing in each and every hospital that'll be free for citizens to use around the clock.
What are we doing?
Later this year, they're coming, the medbeds, Donald Trump, MAGA, we're making America healthy again. There will be cancer-curing medbeds installed in every hospital, and they will be free to use for every goddamn American citizen in this country. Cancer cured, AIDS cured, disease cured. You got Alzheimer's cured. Get in the med bed. It's going to solve every medical advancement problem because according to the same people who post about it, we've had the cure for years.
What are we doing?
And so that's the type of person Jeanette Burnett is. And so welcome to episode 181. Listen, if you are watching on the YouTubes, which you should be because, listen, it's what I care about the most. I love this platform. I'll never leave it. And so I need you to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do it now. I'll wait. Go ahead. Perfect. We're back. Thank you so much for that. And it basically solidifies our place in time within the history of mankind as one of the best podcasts on the planet. Now, I understand I'm no chart topper, but we've got some things going on. So if you're listening on the audio platforms, thank you. If you're on YouTube, thank you. And hopefully this week's episode, hey, we've got breaking news. It's breaking news here at the What Are We Doing podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the MD Foodies boys, the Maryland Foodies boys have officially consumed Taco Bell.
What are we doing?
Take a look.
Yeah, I never had taco.
We're trying the soft taco. This segment is sponsored by Taco Bell.
Of course
Also on
it
these
is.
tacos are lettuce, which Never had lettuce.
How do you never have lettuce?
He took some off actually before this, so
Yeah.
don't let him fool you guys.
It's a really good taco.
Yeah.
That's a really good taco.
I do like it.
The sauce is really good. But yeah, the meat has like a good like taco flavor.
Yeah.
I do like it.
The lettuce also adds a little to it, like a little crunch to it. You like the lettuce?
You like it, Beth?
Yeah.
Sure, yep.
He's coming around on the lettuce, folks.
Taco. My first time having Taco Bell, I thought it was really good. Lived up to the hype. Yeah, Taco Bell's definitely McLovin approves.
So these three children who or 4 children, they're 4 teenagers who presumably have parents who can afford all of the podcast equipment they need. Now, their names are as follows, and I'm not making this up. They gave themselves these names. I think they all took a vote, like Lord of the Fly style. Like they're trapped on an island. They've got to come up with names for themselves because this is the society they live in now, private island world. We're podcasters. We need names. So the main guy who runs the ship, okay, his name is Chub Perm. He doesn't have a perm. His hair is just super curly, and he's a little chubby, so they call him Chub Perm. Who else do we have? We have No Name. We have Nonchalant, and we have McLovin. Hey, not original, change it.
What are we doing?
That name's been taken. So you have to change it, unfortunately, or I'll be on the phone with the lawyers. And we all know how much I hate paying for those phone calls. So let's change it. And so these 4 boys have taken the internet by storm. They have immaculated hundreds of thousands of followers and views and streams across most platforms. They're on, Tim Dillon's podcast. They're on this podcast. They're gallivanting around New York City last week with none other than Dave Portnoy doing pizza reviews. They're dropping like 1 a day all week long. And so the MD Maryland Foodies with a Z, you have to have the Z, of course, Foodies Boys podcast is taking over. And I mean, when I tell you that the content that these children are creating, I mean, has no entertainment value whatsoever. Believe me, you should be listening to this podcast instead of theirs. It's way more entertaining.
What are we doing?
And so when I tell you that they have just this way, this dead-eyed, like half of them, potentially, in my opinion, 1 or 2 of them, probably Nonchalant and No Name, will most likely have some form of a record down at the police station by the time they hit their 18th birthday. But the way they have these conversations is they just talk about the most basic shit. And when I tell you, it reels you in. They're like hypnotists in their own sense of the way. They're like magicians in the way that you are just 100% locked in, to the point where like a week ago, I'm watching a video of these guys and they're simply just discussing cheese versus pepperoni, okay? Like these are the hard-hitting, heavy topics the MD Foodies boys are discussing on a weekly basis. And when I tell you, it felt like I was listening to them discuss cheese versus pepperoni. Spoiler alert, they don't really F's with peps, you know what I'm saying? So basically, it felt like 30 minutes when in reality it was 30 seconds. Just listen to the children speak about cheese on pepperoni.
Being on a pizza.
If I had to choose, it'd probably be like pepperoni, but I'm just a regular cheese guy.
Same.
I just do cheese. I don't do. Yeah, I just do cheese. I don't really like pepperoni. It's kind of a weird taste.
I'll do pepperoni, but same thing. Like,
Yeah.
A lot of people are big pepperoni fans.
I think meat lovers too. I've had meat lovers a couple times.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of like the sausage in general.
I've never had a meat lovers.
So do you understand now? So basically, as you can see in this clip, once again, Chub Perm dominates the conversation. It's almost like everyone is super scared to go against him. Chub Perm is obviously the leader. So if you go against his opinion, you saw him set that at the top of the clip. He's like, yo, I don't really F with peps. It's cheese only for me. And then the other 3 followed suit. Chub Perm is reigning supreme. and time again, he takes the lead with McLovin's help. Name, change it. And, No Name and Nonchalant Guy just kind of follow suit and agree to their opinions and everything else that they're discussing. So essentially, at the end of the day, what you can expect is it's Chub Perm's show. Okay, if anyone's going to go become the next kid on Stranger Things, because that's what they all essentially resemble, it's going to be Chub Perm, and he's going to probably leave the other three in the dust behind him.
What are we doing?
Oh, holy shit. Did you, that whole rant, do you see how it just sucks you in? Do you see how these 4 children just suck you into the ever-living shit of the focus that they are discussing? I mean, the same clip, 30 more seconds, they're talking about cereal. They're having Taco Bell for the first time, sponsored by Taco Bell. We're 5 years into this podcast, and Liquid Death still hasn't called.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? I'm on the line with BJ's Wholesale. I'm on the line with Raising Cane's. I'm trying to get 7 Brews involved. You know what I mean? I'm calling brands. Literally, I applied for a job at one of those organizations this week just to get their attention and be like, hey, Levi, what's up? Let's talk. I am shooting my shot this year more often than not, and I'm getting real good at it, and I'm getting real good results. I've got a note into a small car dealership down the street to give me a smart car with Lambo doors on it that inevitably won't cost me a penny.
What are we doing?
So we've got to figure out how to get on this sponsor trend like the MD Foodies boys. Okay, and I mean these kids, they're taking off. I mean, look, they're on kids. The kids are on Cameo, of course, for 150 bones. You can book a 30 to 60 second video with all 4 of the Foodies boys, McLovin, Nonchalant, No Name, Chub Perm, Perm Chub, whatever, I don't know. And they'll tell you whatever you want to hear. I might have to buy one. And you know what I mean? Speaking of, hey, shameless plug, you know who else is on Cameo? It's me. So while you are spending $150 on the Foodies boys, giving you the Cameo that you need for the week, what you should do also, in addition to that, because if you have $150, you have an additional $3 in the bank account to cover one additional Cameo from me. So once you're done with the MD Foodies boys, go up to the search bar, type in Levi McCurdy, get yourself a Cameo from me. And so I'll take whatever instructions you write in the thingy thing. I'll make you an even longer thing that you paid for, so you definitely get your money's worth. And it's only $3. So why the
not? What are we doing?
They're on Cameo. You can ask them questions. You can get advice. They have, they did a Valentine's Day. They did a bunch of Valentine's Days. The MD Foodies boys are making their rounds. And these are now, I'm hoping what happens here is that we're done with the Costco boys, because they just got cheese bakes and chocolate chip cookies, and he did the wrestling match, and they did the booms, and we're done with the booms. You know what I mean? We're done with the booms. So if we can replace the Costco family with the MD Foodies boys, I think it'd be best for society, the country, the current administration, this podcast, pretty much everything going on within your life and the atmosphere in which you and your family lives. I think all of our lives would improve if we just simply, as society and TikTok and the algorithm, we all unanimously decide that we are going to cancel and be done with the Costco family and Big Justice and the Rizzler and the kid and the mom and Ashley and the logos and the booms and the wrestling and Pokemon cards. Holy shit. It's there's no more content to be created for the Costco family. I need them replaced by the MD Foodie boys 100% tenfold.
What are we doing?
So, for those of you who don't know or aren't aware of the fact that, some number of years ago, we lost the great Stan Lee, the creator of, Spider-Man and essentially what has become the comic book scene, Marvel, the movies, the cameos. If you're a fan of anything that Marvel or Disney Plus or whatever it is, you know who Stan Lee is. If you're not watching this clip already, if you haven't already turned it off, you know 100% who Stan Lee is, what he represented, his legacy, what he worked his entire life to create and promote and be proud of for. And for, kind of newcomers like me and potentially a lot of people who are just kind of fans of the creation and haven't necessarily deep dived too much into Stan Lee's life, what we have now come to know and come to understand is that, the last few years, probably the last, 10 to 15 years of Stan's life, wasn't all rainbows and sunshine, okay? There were many cases, many instances of elder abuse, mental manipulation, mental abuse. I mean, they put this man through the ringer. They milked every penny, every single ounce of energy that he had, to the point where he was falling asleep on and off stage, backstage. They just kept this man in the cogs of the machine until he inevitably passed away. R.I.P. Stan Lee. And so, we kind of sort of knew this was happening. I mean, it just using his name, whether it's his estate or people around him, the people that work for him or essentially against him. You know what I mean? They were just on his Instagram page a few years ago, slinging NFTs. We all know how that turned out. And so, you know what I mean? Like captions like, Stan Lee would have definitely wanted you to own one of these limited edition, one of 10,000 NFT Marvel Stan Lee Spider-Man type of situation. And so when basically all of this was happening, we now have learned that there is a man within the team of Stan Lee by the name of John Ballerjack. And basically, he was Stan Lee's assistant. He was Stan Lee's kind of right-hand man when they went and did all the Comic-Cons, the shows, appearances, movies, this, the that, the signings, the bookstores, everything that they forced this man to do, which is easy to do when he's in a wheelchair and he can't get up and just walk away. I mean, you just roll him wherever you want him to go, and he kind of has to do what you tell him to do. So this John character has allegedly and apparently been, not allegedly, apparently has been collecting this video library of evidence of everyone around Stan Lee, his managers, his handlers, producer people, just fans even, just people who were there just to suck the ever-living life out of this man due to the craze and fascination and overall viral sensation that he one day created a long, long time ago when he first did his first comic book. And so John, knowing that he couldn't really do much about it, it was just the only thing he could do was take a camera everywhere and film all of these people being nasty, manipulative, and just taking advantage of poor old Mr. Stan Lee. And so now that it's kind of been a while, and unfortunately Mr. Lee has passed away, and now, Marvel's kind of died down a bit because their new phase isn't going so well, you know what I mean?
What are we doing?
Now, this guy, John Ballerjack, is essentially ready to release the footage. He's ready with the footage. He's got a documentary created. He's ready to go, but he needs our help because it's on Kickstarter. And so he needs our help finishing the Stan Lee documentary. It's called The Stan Lee, The Final Chapter, okay? It is an inside look at Stan Lee's tumultuous final years.
What are we doing?
Roll the clip, tumultuous.
A tumultuous 3 years that has led
Okay, there it is. An insider look at Stan Lee's tumultuous final years, revealing how mistreatment and conflict threatened his life and legacy. That word, that T word, tumultuous, it just is following us around, and it is here to stay. I love it. I need everyone to start using the word tumultuous, please. Thank you. Stan Lee, The Final Chapter. This Kickstarter, listen, it kind of seems like we're using Stan Lee to get this $300,000 we need to finish the documentary. Seems a little exploitive.
What are we doing?
So now, listen, folks. I know what you're thinking. Just wait for a second before you go off saying things like, Levi, it seems like John is trying to exploit Stan Lee via his name and legacy for $300,000, doing exactly what he's claiming the people in the film are doing. He's doing it. And to that I say, hey, man.
What are we doing?
Because that's exactly what it kind of seems like. So the mere fact that this man is exposing the exploitation of Stan Lee while simultaneously using his name, state, legacy, and everything he's done and worked for, and basically, why and when did he become his assistant? Like, why was he allowed to have all this footage? And by the way, if it was so incriminating, if it was so bad, if you have all this footage that shows mental and physical and emotional abuse towards Stan Lee, especially in the last 10 years, then why would you not hand it over to the authorities? Why would you not release it sooner? Why wait until now? And especially the number one question I think that most people are asking is why not just finish it and put it out? Because that would gain you more respect, more momentum, more of an audience, and more people would like you as a human being, Mr. John B. But the situation is he needs 300 grand just to hit upload.
What are we doing?
Now, of course, in the Kickstarter, he goes over everything that $300,000 is going to cover. Okay, some things like paying the crew, feeding the crew, equipment rentals, soundstage space, set construction, casting, wardrobe, hair and makeup, editing, music composition, visual effects, color correcting, sound design effects, mixing, and more. Dare I go on? Hey, why do you need any of that, John B? So on top of already having the footage, having the ability to film himself, he has footage already from the trailer. We're going to get to it in a second. He already has the footage of other people he's already interviewed for this documentary. So what sets are you building? Like the childhood home of Stan Lee?
What are we doing?
What soundstage space do you need to rent to release a documentary about Stan Lee? You know what I mean? Go buy some moving blankets, hang them up with clamps in your room, and you have a soundstage in your spare bedroom of your apartment.
What are we doing?
Make some DIY sound panels with installation and a couple 4x4s like we did, and then you'll have plenty of soundproof walls in your apartment. You have a buddy with an extra room you can go. You don't need, hey, why do you need hair and makeup? I woke up like this.
What are we doing?
And what visual effects do you need to finish this film, sweetheart? Because as far as I'm concerned, Mr. John B., you already have the interviews done. You have all the footage from Stan Lee himself. And any other visual effects you can download for free via the internet if you give someone your email address in their 30-pack of Lutz free visual effects lower thirds kit. You know what I mean, dude? Like, there's no reason. Music composition, YouTube, com, baby. They have an entire library of royalty-free music because when you inevitably upload this documentary to YouTube, because you will, it'll be good to go. You're not going to get flagged. You're not going to need licensing. You're not going to need to pay for anything if you use their library. And by the way, no one else is flagging it, so you can upload it there too. You do not need $300,000 for exploiting once again someone you claim to be a friend of, Mr. Stan Lee.
What are we doing?
Let's just listen to this guy and see how scummy he sounds.
My name is John Bullerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stanley's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend.
No, you weren't.
I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career, but also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment,
Falling asleep.
manipulation,
Wow.
and betrayal at the hands of a few very bad actors.
It's this guy. This is the guy. He's in all the clips. This guy. Here's a clip that's not in the. I'm pretty sure it's in the full documentary. But basically, we see this. I believe he's Asian. I don't know. We see this guy. We see this guy who's clearly a manager, some form of Stanley's entourage, as well as John B. With Stanley backstage at a Comic-Con or an event of some sort. And basically, which I'm sure we'll see in the full documentary, but basically, Stanley just wants to go home. He just wants to go home. He wants to take a nap. Listen to just this blatant, oh man, this poor guy.
Now, are you ready to give a riveting speech? You're gonna change
That's
lives.
John B.
I thought I was finished with that. What do I have to do now?
It's never over.
You what? I said I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
John B says it's never over.
What are we doing?
Stanley just wants to go home. He wants to take a nap and he wants to sleep for the next 17 hours. But John B claims it's never over.
I said I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
No. Once we're done, we'll get out of here.
Now what do I do here?
Same thing. Talk about you. We'll make some new questions.
But I don't have the.
Yes, you will. Yes.
You get your money's worth out of me.
Every single penny.
Penny, like 5 pennies.
You get your money's worth out of me, Stanley says, and his presumed manager says every penny. And John B coming in with the ringer to let Stanley know that it's not enough. We only get 5 of those pennies.
What are we doing?
You disgusting piece of shit. Hey, John B, knock it off. Return the money that you've already made from the Kickstarter. How much is it? Where's it at? He's already made a little over 60 grand. Return it. Shut it down. Release the documents for free. And if you don't, we're coming for you. We're going to flood the comment. It's going to be, listen, we need this. If we cannot live in a world where this man seriously thinks he's doing the right thing. Right? Like, I mean, it's just, it's one of those situations that I don't think Kickstarter should be allowed. I think Kickstarter should shut it down. I think Kickstarter should shut it down. You know what I mean? And it's not good. It's not good, right? And I mean, even the rewards, if you look at just to just kind of to make this a grift even further, if you look at the reward section, now most Kickstarters, it would be overkill to have, like at least 10 rewards. Most Kickstarters have like a small, medium, and large. Some have a couple more than that, but more than that, it gets a little funny, okay? This Kickstarter has no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, has at least 30 rewards. I mean, starting the smallest one, okay, is $17, and 24 idiots have already bought it, and you'll never guess what it is. You're receiving 6 exclusive postcards featuring behind-the-scenes photos captured by John B., with 15 unique designs in total. Each is randomly assigned, making every reward special, perfect for collectors, fans, or anyone who wants a piece of history from this intimate project. And to that I say, he's printing off 4x6s at Walgreens for $17 a piece and charging you 10x on it for $17.
What are we doing?
Screenshots from the footage that he has is what he's sending you. And it seems like the whole grift of like Stan Lee would have wanted you to have this continues from the NFT post. I'm not saying John B was a part of that, but it just all trickles down to the same exact thing that we have seen over and over again. And that is just the essentially outer abuse of Stan Lee in the final years of his life. I mean, for what? For $100, you get a movie poster signed by the cast and crew as if you give a shit who those people are.
What are we doing?
Who cares? But 9 people do. He's making money. What's fascinating is there's another one. There's right here, dude. For $500, and I'm going to be honest with you, I might contribute. I might use one of my vacations. When's this happening? December. I'm not that busy in December. I might be in Los Angeles this December because for $500, I get a Stan Lee Los Angeles tour with the director of the movie, Mr. John B.
What are we doing?
But it gets better. It gets so much better because what will happen, the description of what's going to happen that day is unfathomable. We will embark on a thrilling, one-of-a-kind tour through Los Angeles with film director Jonathan Ballerjack as he takes you to key locations featured in the Stan Lee documentary. Experience the city like never before as Jonathan shares behind-the-scenes information about Stan Lee's life, reveals the secrets from the film's production, and this is the best part, that's you, exclusively will get to visit the places where bribes were offered, schemes were plotted, and millions of dollars went missing. Stories that have never been told until right now. And this is your chance to walk in the footsteps of Stan Lee's incredible journey, uncovering the dark and fascinating moments that shaped the legend's final years. Don't miss out on this unforgivable adventure through Los Angeles, guided by the director John B. himself.
What are we doing?
And just to sweeten the deal a smidge, okay, the tour comes with lunch, a limited edition photo book, and a special viewing of never-before-seen footage featuring Stan Lee's travels, including cameo shoots, celebrity events, and more. Bang, baby. And of course, just so you know, travel and lodging to and from and inside of Los Angeles, not included. For only $500, you could be the only one. No one's taken the bait. No one's taken the bait on this one yet. And so basically, I think as long as crypto does good this week, we should be good to go to spend $500 on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I, myself, am going to walk in the footsteps of Stan Lee with none other than John B. himself. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of this. I mean, and it goes on and on and on, and up to $10,000. Make the ultimate contribution as a key supporter of the Stan Lee tribute film by having your name featured on the film, with recreations made possible in part by you. This tier is perfect for those who feel deeply passionate about bringing this important story to life and want to be recognized as a major contributor. Stan Lee, looking down from heaven right now, would have wanted you to be on that screen. Not you personally, just your name, and brought to you in part by Levi McCurdy.
What are we doing?
So I'm either going to spend $17, $500, or $10,000. I got to talk to Megs. We got some things we got to pay for first, primarily the wedding. But I think after that, if there's still time and the tier's still available, I may or may not be the #1 contributor to the Stan Lee documentation. The more I talk about it, the more I think I'm on John B's side. That's how these things always work. It starts out as a bit, but now the more I talk about it, I think it's a good idea.
What are we doing?
I'm joking. It's gross. Like, look at this.
Is there any way to get us out of that San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it? Gotta do it.
At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it, but I did have a camera and I filmed everything.
Whoa, watch out!
Now I'm asking for your help to finish the film and finally get justice for Stan. This documentary includes first-hand accounts from key witnesses, including comic book legends like Rob Liefeld and Roy Thomas, as well as many others who saw the chaos and unethical acts. This isn't speculation, it's all on camera.
Couldn't think of any other way to help Stan Lee and preserve his legacy, huh?
What are we doing?
Well, at least it's not all bad news. At least it's not all bad news when it comes to the creation of content online. And speaking of those creating content online, not for gains financially, okay? We've got none other than the return of your favorite, America's favorite. She's America's sweetheart. We love her. She's one of the best, and she's back, baby. She's on TikTok, and she's ready to go. I'm talking none other than the top mom herself, #1 in our book, Casey Anthony, baby.
What are we doing?
She's back. And she's, you know what I mean? She's back. And basically, Casey Anthony, for those of you who don't know, was found not guilty, even though most of the evidence says she was guilty, much like O.J. Simpson. But that's fine. We don't talk ill of the deceased. I apologize. R.I.P. to him and victims and everyone else involved. But Casey Anthony is back, okay? And essentially, what happened was Gary V. Casey Anthony found Gary V. Some people in these instances, when they go through these traumatic events like being accused and arrested for the unaliving of your own child, some people they don't really ever bounce back. And it takes a special amount of motivation. It takes a special amount of dedication. And it takes a special amount of convincing that you yourself are a special person and you yourself can do anything and make people believe and think and see you in any kind of light. You are a personal brand. And so instead of finding religion or a higher power to believe in, Casey Anthony, I'm convinced, has stumbled upon the Gary V algorithm. Okay. And so when she heard then that Gary V says you can reinvent yourself, you can be the person you want to be. Listen, he says it right here. Ready?
Share what you want to share. And I think people should be careful of what they share. You share your abs, like you're a good shaped dude, people are going to talk about your body for the rest of your life. You're going to show your kid all the time, they're going to talk about that. Relationship, they're going to talk. You're giving the world permission. I prefer not to give the world permission because that's a sacred place for me. I want to remind people, you're in control. I'm incredibly private and feel that the world is entitled to what you give it. So when I watch people get upset when people get into their business, I'm like, you're giving them your business. By the way, you're leveraging your business. I don't want to leverage nor give my personal life to the world. I don't think that's the right way. I just think it's my way. The takeaway there from my perspective is you're in control. You have a learning disability and you want to share it, mazel tov. You don't? Great. Yeah. And by the way, if you're listening right now and it's really hitting, if you've been sharing everything and you decide off of this podcast, then you just stop. And when people ask, where's Johnny, your boyfriend? You can answer it. You don't have to answer it, but like, you're in control.
I have no doubt in my mind that Casey Anthony saw this exact video and thought, bet bitch, I'm making a video from the car.
What are we doing?
Speaking of which, here she is.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And
while you were on trial? No? Okay. Well,
in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony.
Let's
my
go.
daughter is Kaylee Anthony.
We're back.
My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done.
By the way, can we stop filming in the car?
What are we doing?
Like, can we not? Is there nowhere else you guys can film? There is this is the one thing I hate and kind of wish TikTok would have stayed banned. Thanks a lot, Donald Trump. But like, the one thing I kind of hate about TikTok is that it's created this genre of car vloggers where people are just giving their opinions, eating a bunch of food, talking to the camp, just whatever it is that they do, dancing. Like, they're just in the car as if they have no other place to go, no other location like a house or an apartment or a bedroom that they could, be in inside. We have to go out to the car, sit in it, and film ourselves. And now before you go, Levi, you did a podcast. I did like one podcast. I did like two.
What are we doing?
I've done like 3 podcasts from the car. Okay. But that's because of scheduling, the situation where we were traveling at the time. I've done a couple from the car, but I'm not in the car every week. Okay. Unlike some of you people who are just always in the car filming. It's just, I don't get it. But it's fine. We're going to keep doing it. Go ahead, Casey Anthony.
That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done.
That's right.
The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity.
Be a personal brand.
Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity.
Yes.
My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened.
Listen.
And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters.
Folks, listen, I've done it. I've formed my opinion, and this is it. She made one mistake.
What are we doing?
She made one mistake. Do you honestly want to live in a country where if you make one simple, silly mistake, that's it, you're done, we're taking your voice away, you can never have knowledge or an opinion of anything ever again? Okay, listen. She made one teeny tiny little mistake. What'd she do? Okay, she might have theoretically, she unalived her own daughter, but at the end of the day, she's still a human being, okay? We've canceled cancel culture. Andrew and Tristan Tate just landed in Florida.
What are we doing?
It's over. Like, it's done now. We're done with So, I mean, for this one teensy weensy little, I'm joking. Listen, the death of Kaylee was tragic and she's a monster and she doesn't deserve a platform. Okay, we get it. But, we'll be following her closely for the next few weeks, and any trips to any wooded areas, we'll know something's up. But also, by the way, very curious about what she says next. I'm sorry. It's just I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see what Casey Anthony has to say next. Will she continue down this road of just being this legal advocate and giving legal advice for some unknown reason? Do you get it all from ChatGPT, babe?
What are we doing?
So I want to see if she'll respond to the hate, because that's all she's getting, that she doesn't deserve. And legal advice, hate, maybe a dance. I want to see Casey Anthony dance on TikTok.
What are we doing?
That's it. I've made up my mind. The only thing I want to see next from Casey A is the latest dance trend on TikTok. I want to see her with the D'Amelio sisters because Lord knows they're done. They haven't had a million view TikTok in like 4 years. I think they deleted the app when it was blocked, and now they haven't been able to get it back. So I want to see cameos with the D'Amelios. I want to see Casey Anthony dancing, and I want to know her direct opinions on women's rights, the LGBTQ plus AI community, and all of the legal advice that she can give. Let's go. We hit follow. She hasn't posted anything since this video. I think she might be a little scared of some of the negative backlash. But other than that, Casey Anthony's back, babes. And I don't know if there's much any of us can do about it.
What are we doing?
I love Tesla. Listen, the hits just keep coming. They get better and better and better as time goes on. You know, we continuously are catching this administration, Donald Trump and his new vice president, Elon Musk, in these lies, this conjecture, these things that they try to convince you are true, but clearly are absolutely 100% not. So because of Elon Musk and his new position at Doge within the United States government, aka what is presumably him and Little X Jr. as Donald Trump's right-hand man, has become, because the kid's everywhere too. I don't know if you noticed that or not, by the way. The kid, X, Elon has like 15 of them. How pissed do you think the other 14 children are seeing Little X Jr. on TV with Daddy and Donald Trump nonstop 24/7? They'd be pissed. If anything ever happens to Elon Musk, like if anyone ever, gets him, all I'm saying is you better question all 14 of those other children, because I guarantee you, seeing that 15th child on the TV all the time with Daddy, when you don't get any of his attention, you just get his financial benefits. It weighs a lot on a child, and presumably some that will now soon become teenagers. And so who knows if those children will start acting out irrationally towards Daddy Musk. And so with that comes the promise. Donald Trump told us just a few weeks ago that Elon Musk was different. He told us that Elon Musk was here doing the job he's doing because he genuinely cares. Donald Trump goes on to say that Elon Musk, I thought Elon Musk, he's a Tesla guy, he's a rocket ship guy. I thought this guy was coming into my life just to ask me for favors and things. And then wouldn't you know it, he doesn't ask me for one favor. Can you believe this guy, Elon? I'm the president of the United States and he hasn't asked me for a favor. So today we've got all these Teslas lined up in the White House lawn to film what has become officially the very first Tesla commercial ever produced.
What are we doing?
This is something not a lot of people know about Tesla. This is something not a lot of people know, is that Elon Musk there has never been a commercial, an advertisement, nothing. He doesn't advertise the company because it speaks for himself. Every time he puts another one of those Teslas on the road, whether it's a Cybertruck, a 3, an X, a Y, whatever it might be, it's an advertisement in itself. So why waste money on a commercial like all the other guys when you're out selling them tenfold? So Elon Musk never got a commercial. But here's the issue. Now everyone hates him because he's injected himself into the United States government, and people are now rioting at his factories, damaging Teslas, destroying people's Teslas when they see them, lighting them on fire, splashing paint on them, smashing the windows of Tesla, dealerships. And so basically, in order to reconcile this newfound hate for Tesla and Elon Musk, Donald Trump took it upon himself to call out the haters, say, stop hating, okay? You're player hating right now. Elon Musk is trying to help you, idiot, and you're player hating. So I'm going to come out and I'm going to support Tesla and I'm going to buy one. So what did they do? None other than take every single model Tesla that's available on the market right now to the front of the White House, no other place you'd want to go, and essentially give America the first ever Tesla commercial. Take a look.
Tesla. Going on now at the White House Tesla Auto Mall. It's the biggest sale of the year.
Very safe, it's very strong, heavy. It's all steel, stainless steel.
Come on down to Pennsylvania Avenue, just off Route 29, to get our best deal ever on a brand new Tesla.
I want to make a good deal here. They have one, which is $35,000, which is pretty low.
Get a Model 1 with a different panel and everything's computer.
This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
So don't waste your time going to those other Tesla dealerships with riots and flaming cyber trucks. You gotta come down to White House Tesla Auto Mall.
I love Tesla.
You gotta come down to White House Tesla Auto Mall.
This is really amazing.
Tesla. I love it. And guess what? I want one.
What are we doing?
I want one. I still want a Tesla. This more commercial. So the Daily Show created this commercial out of all the news clips and everything. Essentially everything Donald Trump was saying in that video was how he was saying it in the press and in the news and in the actual footage of Elon Musk bringing all of the Teslas to the front lawn of the White House and essentially parade around his cars to not only attempt to get the people of America back in his good graces. If Zaddy trumpets, endorses, and says that these Teslas are amazing vehicles, well, then the fans and audience and voters of Zaddy trumpets should stop rioting, stop destroying said cars, and let's fix Tesla's stock price while we're at it. And so basically that inevitably, I don't think really fixed anything. And so it's this situation where this whole Elon Musk simulation theory that we're trying to get ourselves through, I think is going to implode on itself. This whole Elon Musk running around on ketamine with a chainsaw, shouting from the mountaintops that the United States government is spending too much money on bullshit and everything else that they're spending the money on, and the documents are in the mines of Pennsylvania, and that's why we can't retire any of our own people, because we got to go down to the mines, climb a ladder, get the folder out of the thing, and it's just a manual process.
What are we doing?
It's going to implode on itself. There is going to be a press conference. There is going to be a tweet. Donald Trump will hold a press conference. Elon will post something on Twitter. And it will be of probably the exact opposites, but talking about the same thing, letting everyone know that Donald Trump no longer likes Elon Musk. He no longer needs his services, and that they are splitting ways. And then Elon Musk will do nothing other than go to X and just start shit talking the ever living fuck out of Donald Trump. I mark my words. This does not end with Donald Trump and Elon Musk at the finish line by the time we get to, 2028. By the time we get to 2028, Elon Musk will, I highly doubt, be a part of the Donald Trump administration.
What are we doing?
And so I love Tesla, baby, and I'm going to go get one. Let's go get one, because the market's crashing. I mean, you can get a used 2023, 2024 Tesla for $15,000. They're not expensive. You can get a used one cheap. The new ones, catch them on lease for $199 a month. You can't get any better than $199. I mean, I know after the numbers and everything else, it's way more than that. But hey, it's just a situation where eventually we're not going to have motor vehicles anymore. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, I'm getting a Tesla. And whether it's from this commercial or not, and whether or not, hey, do you think, just listen to here's actual footage from the day of that situation. Here's Elon Musk just trying to convince the people of the United States that he is important and should be in the White House.
As a function of the great policies of President Trump and his administration, and as an act of faith in America, Tesla is going to double vehicle output in the United States within the next 2 years. Double.
A big deal. That's great. Thank you. And by the way, he makes one car. This one I don't understand. This one I don't want, but that's okay. Without a steering wheel. It comes out next year, right?
Yes.
Explain that, please.
Yes, well, the Cybercap starts production in Texas next year, and it's self-driving. We have so much confidence in the self-driving nature of it that it'll actually not have a steering wheel. It will not have pedals. It'll either self-drive or not drive at all, but it'll self-drive.
And I'm going to pass on that particular.
And the president won't be getting in it because he knows it's going to explode.
What are we doing?
Whoa. Was that 2 buttons at once? What did I just do? Did I just create a what are we doing vortex?
What are we doing?
Okay, that was 1. What happens if I hit him at the...
What are we doing?
Whoa. What is this? Hold on. Let's do 4. Ready?
What are we doing?
Oh, the commenters are going to be pissed. They're already screaming from the mountaintop that I press it too much, but if I give them a double P, it sounds even cooler.
What are we doing?
Talk about a Tesla commercial, huh? Like Elon Musk hasn't asked Donald Trump for anything, but whatever this was must have been all of Donald Trump's ideas. You know what I mean? So listen, we've got more Pokemon news this week, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. Basically, big news coming out of the Pokemon Go scene. I certainly don't play it anymore, but apparently 30 million people around the globe do on a daily basis. So if you're still playing Pokemon Go and haven't heard the news, there is a mobile game company called Scopely who has invested in and purchased Pokemon Go away from Niantic for upwards of, I think, $3 billion. And so huge congratulations, shout out to Niantic for the success, the win, because as we all know, Niantic, they're just a one-hit wonder. They got lucky with Pokemon Go and everything else they put out. I think they put out like a dinosaur game that was the same thing as Pokemon Go. And then they tried it with Harry Potter, but they shut that down like 3 years after they released it because no one was literally playing it because it was complicated and weird and it just didn't work out. It was not a good game. So Niantic stuck to the guns, continued with Pogo, and now they've been purchased for billions and billions and billions of dollars. And so Scopely is the development team. I think they're Saudi owned down there. Good friends of Saudis. Shout out to you guys. They also own games like Monster Hunter Now, Monopoly Go, Stumble Guys, Star Trek Fleet Command, and Marvel Strike Force. And so this is the number one thing people are most concerned about because all of those games have just the most annoying ads and placements of said ads throughout them. And most of them are unskippable after every power-up or turn that you play on Monopoly Go.
What are we doing?
And so the one thing that has set Niantic apart and Pokemon Go for all of these years is the fact that I'm pretty sure, because I haven't played it in a few years, but I'm almost positive until this time, there hasn't been any ads for like other games or the App Store or this casino game or the solitaire game that they always try to get you to download. Whenever you download one of those games, you get ads. Sometimes you can play the ads. I've broken a few of them just playing it so much. I sometimes get caught playing the ad more than I am playing the actual game that I downloaded.
What are we doing?
And so, Scopely, if you're listening and from the mountaintops of the community, I'm pretty sure it'd be much appreciated if Pokemon Go didn't end up like every other one of your mobile apps games. And so, it's just, it's good news, I guess, for the Pokemon Go, the Niantic team. I think now that that is done, Niantic and Scopely are also working on an AI, AR, whatever type of technology format for games. So essentially, Scopely bought Niantic, and that kind of became however you want to spin it. But basically, they're starting a new branch of the company, still under the name Niantic, but Scopely owns now their most valuable IP, aka they own them. And so we'll see what the future of Pokemon Go looks like. I know, hey, I know a lot of people who were chilling with me in Times Square, just catching Charizards, and anytime a Staryu popped up, we all ran 3 blocks down the street. At one point in time, the game was hot, much like most mobile games. They come and then they go. And so Pokemon Go is clearly here to stay. It was clearly just a testament to the IP and just the ever-growing community around the Pokemon atmosphere. And so we've got like videos. There's videos. They have vending machines now. People are fighting at the vending machines because of scalpers and not being able to buy the latest Pokemon drops. The shelves in the stores are always empty. And so, you know what I mean? Just continuing this love and never-ending kind of situation in our lives that is Pokemon. We can't escape it.
What are we doing?
Like, just when you think you're done playing the games, just when you think you're done with the cards, they drop a new set. It's popular again. Pokemon Go comes out. TCG Player, the app, comes out. Like, it just continuously is something that will be a part of a lot of millennials and a lot of kids now, teenagers, adults, everybody on the planet has something to do with or knows about or owns something that has intellectual property associated with the world of Pokemon. Yes or yes?
What are we doing?
And so you heard me a few weeks ago, okay, when I won my holographic fossil Articuno. I got it in the mail, by the way. Shout out to Region 151. You're the best. I got it in the mail. Very protected. I love it. I am getting ready to ship it off to PSA to get graded. I know it's going to come back kind of iffy.
What are we doing?
But hey, you know what I mean? It's a vintage fossil Articuno. Graded only makes it worth just a little bit more. So why not start off my slab collection with this win? With that high, though, comes one other thing. And for the first time, I think, on this podcast, we are going to be doing an unboxing, a very special unboxing. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't help myself. Okay, I couldn't help myself. When I saw these on TikTok, I knew I had to find them, secure the purchase, and get them in this studio. This is another vintage Pokemon collector's item. If you're a millennial, you'll recognize them right away. If you're not, buckle up. Because back in, I think, the early 2000s, I think like the year 1999 to 2001, somewhere in that time, Pokemon was hot. It was hot like it is now, and it's hot as it would ever have been in the late 90s, early 2000s. And so we were all playing the games, and we were all ecstatic when McDonald's and Burger King alike would get these toys or these special limited edition items that you could also purchase. And when I tell you I am adult, I am an adult with adult money. And so I found these unopened in the original bag. Ladies and gentlemen, I have in studio sealed. These are sealed, and I cannot tell you. How do we want to play this? Let's do this right here, and let's do this like that. Will that stay? No? Okay, hold on. There we go. Let's just do that. I have the original bag from Burger King, and I have all 6 in their boxes. 23 karat, I think it's 23 carats, but we'll call them 24 karat gold Pokemon cards in their boxes with Pokeballs sealed up in this original Burger King bag. For those of you who are just listening, probably none of you, this is something that you need to see. I'm going to put this over here, but these, let's bring these into frame. These are the OG Burger King gold-plated Pokemon cards. We have Jigglypuff, we have Poliwhirl, we have Togepi, we have Pikachu, we have Charizard, and we have Mewtwo. And this is the first official unboxing of the What Are We Doing podcast. I can't be more excited. These have been sitting here all week.
What are we doing?
And I haven't opened them. I haven't opened them because I wanted to do it here with anyone who wants to watch and then enjoy this experience with me for the first time. So I had a couple of these. I had one or two. I think Jeff might have bought me. He loved me that week.
What are we doing?
And so I had one or two of these as a child, but they've been, of course, long gone, lost to history, yard sales. They're with all the Beanie Babies that Sandy and Jeff thought would get them through the years. You know what I mean? And so basically, here we go. We're going to unbox these. We're going to start with the bottom three, and then we're going to save the big three for last. So let's do Jigglypuff. So these all came in these little red boxes. You could go to Burger King, and I think you could buy these separate from your meal, right? And they each came with their perspective Pokeball. Just look at this to scale, shiny, fully functional Pokeball. I am obsessed. I am ready. This is going to be an experience, and I don't even know. I think we might need, I'm just going to get some scissors because this is nostalgic. Do I have scissors? No. Okay. Here's a knife over here. Unboxing knife. Shout out to the knife. Here we go. I'm just going to cut it here. I'm so bad at that. See, I've never unboxed anything before. And so, oh man. These will go in the collection. Little piece of cardboard just to hold it upright. Put that in the box. And then for the first time, you can press the button. And then it should spring open to reveal. Oh, look at it. Oh, would you look at that? There's a little stand inside. They each have these casings on them, and they are just a full card. On the front, there's the Jigglypuff, and on the back, there's a description and another image of that. And then inside also too, oh my God, you do not see these. I didn't even know they came with these. We probably just threw them away as kids. Certificate of authenticity for each one. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. And this is, look at Jigglypuff. Oh, she's beautiful. I am keeping these forever. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. Let's get that in front. Let's do Togepi, dude. Let's, now that you know what to expect, I'm just going to go a little faster just for time's sake. But we have got the ultimate. Let's put those down there too. Oh man, this is nostalgia. I mean, if you just want to talk about the nostalgia factor, I mean, as kids, sure, we were excited, right? You know, opening these up, having them, showing our friends, trading them, using them, and it just Togepi. There she is. There's the certificate. I mean, we have got just something so incredible. Something so just, I mean, you don't see these too often. I know a couple people who have them. I know a couple people who have the complete set, but basically, I mean, it's a piece of history. It's a piece of Pokemon history. I think if you are a collector, this is probably, I would say, I would put this up there. Not as like one of the top pieces. Obviously, there's cards, there's movies, there's promos, the games. There's so much IP surrounding Pokemon that we all have kind of our different points in time. This is Poliwhirl. Here you go. Look at that. We all have our different points in time that is like, you know, where we met Pokemon, our generations. Like, I think Justin only recognizes the first generation. but like I'm kind of a Gen 1, Gen 2 kind of guy. And it just, oh no, Poliwhirl fell out of his protective sleeve. Oh, jeez, let's protect him. And I also told Megs that, you know what I mean, these will also kind of secure our future if we do go south. Let's go for the big three now. I'm going to do Pikachu next. If things go south and like the American economy collapses, Russia destroys our, like electricity infrastructure and basically shuts down all of our servers and internet, then we're going to need gold. We're going to need gold to essentially survive. I'm going to have to barter with people. I'm going to have to trade this gold bar just for a week's supply of water. I'm going to have to trade this 24 karat gold bar Pikachu just so my son can eat a raw fish for the week because, World War III is inevitable. I'm going to look at this one. There he is. There's the Pikachu. Happy as can be. Pikachu in 24 karat gold magic, just like Bruno Mars would. I've got two more. We've got two more to go, and that completes our team. And I mean, hey, talk about a solid team. Not bad. I would have preferred a Gengar. I would have preferred maybe they replace Togepi maybe with someone else. But I mean, a solid top 6. This is something I'm so kind of just obsessed. I'm obsessed with Pokemon right now. I love how this kind of, it resurges every couple of years. I know there's ebbs and flows with collecting and the cards and the sets they release, but I mean, just the stuff they released. Here is Mewtwo. There he is. Wow. Look at him. Look at this boy. There's his certificate of authenticity and just the look of this card. I might keep this in my pocket. I might keep this in my pocket with me. And if anyone ever tries to stop me, I'll pull this out and I'll be like, hey. Also, too, maybe I'll keep the Charizard in like a chest pocket in case I ever get shot. The bullet, the Charizard protects me. It stops the bullet and saves my life. I think these potentially, I don't know when I'll ever be shot, but if one day it might happen randomly on the street and I might be protected by my gold cards. There's the Mewtwo. And last but not least, the creme of the creme, the god himself, the one card everybody wants to go after. Every single person wants that Zard, whether it's a Rainbow Charizard, whether it's Blaine's Charizard, whether it's the Rocket Dark Charizard, whether it's Charizard EX, whether it's the base set first edition Shadowless Charizard, whichever Charizard you respect the most is the one you deserve. And this is the 24 karat Charizard number 6. There he is in all of his 24 karat glory. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of work. These cards individually, the balls, the gold. I mean, they don't make stuff like this anymore. This is something you don't see. This is something you pay hundreds of dollars for. This is something you keep in the collection forever. Shout out to my guy on eBay. You're the GOAT. I'll send you a link to the video. This has been one of the greatest experiences in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and if you're still with me, I need you to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and follow us as this journey and roller coaster continues. You never know when we're going to have a guest, when someone's going to be calling in from prison, when 280 Plus shows up, when we're going to do an unboxing, a movie review. It's the What Are We Doing podcast, folks, and I'm going to be back next week. Better than ever with episode 182. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be our best episode yet. Check it out next Friday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Shout out to you guys. I gotta go find a place to put all my balls, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.
What are we doing?